Hey guys, Nika here. I hope you guys are all having a great Thursday. It is 2 p.m. Thursday afternoon, and I am here to do my weekly social media tutorial. So as you guys probably know, this month is all about social media marketing. Next month, we're going to pick another topic, and every week, we're going to talk about something about that specific topic. But for today, we're going to stick with social media marketing, and we're talking about how to create or how to easily create and manage a social media posting schedule for your business or personal brand. So if you have questions as we go through, go ahead and ask them in the comment box, and I will do my best to answer them. If not, I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it and start talking about how we do this posting schedule. So the first and most important thing that we need to consider when we are looking at creating social media specifically for business marketing or a personal brand that you're going to market for is obviously knowing your product and service. If you don't really know the ins and outs of your product and service, it's really, really hard to come up with content and captions that really get your story or get your information across to your ideal target audience. So I know that sounds kind of simple and straightforward, but the reality is that most people don't really exactly know what their product and service is. I should say, especially a service-based company, a lot of times they have a good idea of what they do, but until they get really, really clear about what they're doing, they may struggle coming up with the right copy to put out there. So whether that's sales copy, marketing copy for social media posts. When I say copy, I mean like the actual text, the verbiage that you use to explain your service or your product. So it's really, really important to take the time to get to know your product or service in depth. Understand what your keywords or target words are, understand exactly what you're trying to sell to your ideal clients, and then understand the kind of words that trigger those ideal clients to buy in. So what influences them? So it's really important to take some time to deep dive into that. Once you know exactly what your product and service is, the next step is really to understand your target audience. And this, you guys will hear me talk about this over and over again. The reason it's so important, or the reason I actually talk about it so often, is because it took me a long time to really understand the importance of this. I used to always say, oh yeah, I want to help, I want to help women change their lives and start a business and grow their business. And that was it. Like, I knew what my target market was, but I didn't really. And so the key to understanding your target market is really doing another deep dive into who that ideal client is. So is that ideal client 25 years old? Is that ideal client 55 years old? So knowing that age range. Is the ideal client low income, middle income, upper income? What kind of product are you selling? If you're selling a Toyota, you're probably going to be a middle income target audience. If you're selling a Lamborghini, you're obviously going to be a higher income. So really understanding how your product and service meets that target audience is really, really important. Get to know your target audience in the sense of their behaviors, what influences them, what they do with their free time, what kind of books they read, what kind of activities they love to do, who is most important in their life, who are other influencers. Are they a Kim Kardashian fan, or do they like Steph Curry or whomever? Like, what are their influences? Get to know their behaviors and their habits, because once you understand that, you know exactly how to talk to them. You know exactly what to say to them that will get them to buy in. So if there's anything at all that you do through this whole process, get to know your target audience or your ideal client in really, really deep depth. So after that, so once you know exactly how to sell your product and service or what it is, and you know your target audience, the next thing is to understand platforms that you should be on. And the platforms are going to differ depending on who your target audience is, specifically by age and interest. You'll tend to see that a little bit older age group tends to be on Facebook, though don't write off Facebook by any means, even if you're looking for millennials or teenagers, things like that. Facebook is behemoth, and you should always have a Facebook page and be posting on there. But, younger crowds, millennials, tend to be on Instagram. They spend more time on Instagram than they do on Facebook. Some people tend to be on Twitter, so especially if you're looking at sports or political things, or you want to have conversations and engagement directly. Twitter's really great. Women love Pinterest, so if you're trying to sell something to a 45-year-old Caucasian woman, Pinterest is your go-to. So really understanding who your target audience is and then what platform matches them specifically. I do deep dive into this quite a bit in this month's business kit on Influencer Social Club. So if you're interested in that, you guys can buy this month's business resource guide, or I can go into depth if you guys want to DM me or instant message me or comment below. I can talk to you guys a little bit more about that too. So, okay, once you know your product and service, your audience and platform, the next thing is to understand that there are two types of social media. There's personal social media and there's professional social media. And it's really important to understand the difference here. So personal social media is, you know, I'm going to post a picture of the dinner I ate last night. I'm going to post a picture of my dog doing something funny. And I'll post a picture of me and my mom out shopping, or, hey, I just bought this new throw pillow and I love it and I wanted to share. So it's kind of chaotic. It's just things that happen in your life and you kind of share it, and there's no real continuity with it. So that's personal. And I actually see a lot of businesses doing personal social media, and then they don't understand why they're not getting anywhere with their audience or able to grow their following on these platforms. So if you are a business or a personal brand and you want to use social media as a marketing tool, it's really, really important that you use it professionally. And the way you do that is to have continuity across all of your platforms. So that's if you're using Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Make sure that your logos are all on there. Make sure that you have the same copy about your descriptions for your business. So your business does XYZ for ABC. So product, service, and target audience. Make sure those are really clear and the same across all of those platforms. With professional marketing on social media, when you're posting, you should always be telling a story about your brand or business. So things you want to include in that are the who, what, where, why, when, hows of your brand. So who started your brand? Why did the brand start? Where did the brand start? What does the brand do? Who does the brand serve? What are the experiences these people are going to receive, or your target audience is going to receive by using your product or service? When you guys keep that concise and the same all the way across, you'll start to suck in people and you'll be able to build your following more. I hope that makes sense, but the idea is really to have very clear continuity across all of the platforms and continuity across each of your posts. So I'll give you an example. You can still use a picture of the dinner that you ate last night for your personal or business brand, but what you want to do is have a caption that tells the story about why that brand or that dinner matches your brand. So an example would be, I ate at Panera Bread last night. The reason I ate at Panera Bread is I'll take a picture of my macaroni and cheese and salad, right? And I can put that up on Instagram. That's totally fine. The story I'm going to tell with that through the caption is saying, hey guys, I ate at Panera Bread. I had this amazing, quick meal last night. I did it because I'm a working mom and, I want to eat healthy, but still eat yummy food like mac and cheese. And I'm on the go because I got to take care of my kid and run my business and do everything all on the other. I want to do everything else on the side as well. So the idea is to incorporate what your business does day to day in those captions along with those photos. I hope that makes sense. I didn't explain it too well, but I think you guys get an idea of what I'm trying to say. Anyways, okay, so the next thing we want to do is look at, a lot of people ask me about the best time to post on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. And the truth is, with the algorithms on Instagram and Facebook, there really isn't a best time to post anymore. What it really is the amount of engagement each of your posts have by the specific follower. So you'll probably start to see that you have posts that show up regularly. So say you follow Kim Kardashian and you engage with her content quite often, well, that content is going to show up more often in your feed. So it's more important to have high engagement than it is to post at a specific time. The way you get more engagement is by having information that's shared over and over again so people know exactly what they're going to get out of you guys. And then you're also posting relevant content to your business and brand, and you're doing a call to action. Ask them to comment, ask them to post, ask them to share, ask them to like your picture, whatever it is, get them to engage with you. I will say it's different for Twitter though. Twitter is actually, it still has kind of a time period where it's really good to post. One example is about 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Because people tend to check their social media, they need a break from work, they take a 5-minute breather, they look online, maybe they engage with some posts that have happened. So Twitter, you may want to actually look at the best times to post. Instagram, Facebook, just post and get them to engage, because that's how you'll get more likes, more followers, and so on. Okay, so now let's get into creating a actual posting plan. So I've attached a link where you can actually download a content calendar and engagement calendar. And what it is a platform that you can use to put in your content and your captions. And sorry guys, I keep getting distracted. Something keeps flashing on my computer and it's kind of driving me nuts. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so on the posting and engagement calendar, what it is it gives you all the little check marks you need. It's like, hey, did I post on Facebook on this day? Hey, did I post on Twitter on this day? Hey, did I post on Instagram this day or Twitter this day? So you know exactly which days you want to post, you know when to engage, and then you know what kind of content that you want to create. So you can create all that content ahead of time, you can share it or save it into that engagement platform, and then you can go back and just copy and paste it when you're ready to actually schedule the posts. So I've created that. So the idea is to create a calendar of what, or have an idea of when you want to post. So how many times per week are you going to post on Facebook? How many times are you going to post on Twitter? How many times are you going to post on Instagram? And have an idea of how often you want to engage. Once you have that kind of created, and you can use my template if you want, again, the link's in the comments below, or the description below. The next thing you want to do is create a 12 to 14 categories. And this is going to help you stay really current and not struggle coming up with content each month or an idea of what kind of content to create. So a couple of examples of those categories might be posts about behind the scenes. Another example might be having tutorials. Talk about my why, like why are you doing this? Why are you providing this product and service? Why is it important to you? Those kind of things. You could do categories that are about entertainment or something funny that's kind of eye-catching and keeps people engaged. You could tell your brand story. So talk about, you know, who are the people in your brand? Do you have coworkers that you work with? Maybe you talk about the bios of all those people, or why, what's their why? Why are they involved? You talk about how your brand got started. Why did you start the business? Where did it start? What's been the growth story? Those kind of things. You can talk about, another category could be benefits of the product or service, or showcasing the product or service. Can you show it in action? Can you show people how these things actually work? One of my favorites for a category is customer appreciation. And so you can do a shout out to one of your customers. Thank you so much to John Smith for buying, you know, this t-shirt today. I really hope he loves it. And then post the picture of John wearing the shirt. Or thanks so much, Susie, for becoming a team member. I'm so glad that you've joined our membership club, or whatever it is. So you do those customer appreciations. And then you can personalize it as well. So you can do things like food, but make sure that food wraps back around into your personal or business brand. You could do outdoor activities. So maybe you go on vacation, your favorite thing to do is hiking. So you do kind of like a personal post about, you know, when I leave work, I really need to take a break. So I go hiking for a week in wherever. And tell that story about behind the scenes. Allow your customers, your followers to get to know you. Talked about destinations, so vacation, things, hobbies that you love to do, experiences that you love to enjoy. So make it kind of personal. So think about those categories, create 12 to 14, and what you're going to do is each day you're going to talk about one of those specific categories. So say Monday is Customer Appreciation Day. Then Tuesday is going to be my brand story. Wednesday is going to be the benefits and benefits of the product and service. Thursday is going to be inspiration. Friday is going to be food. So pick those for each day of the week and run through those 12 to 14 categories every 2 weeks. So that way each day is kind of fresh, but you also know exactly what you're going to be talking about for that day, and then create captions and content that match that theme for the day or that category. So once you have those categories kind of worked out, and again, if you use my posting calendar, you have specific spots where you can fill in those categories, and it helps you really easily know exactly what you're going to post about that day. So the next thing to understand is the caption outline. And this is really important. This is something that people don't give enough thought to. Usually you see posts of like, ate fried chicken today, yum, or hey, here's a funny joke, ha ha ha, or something. It's real simple and straightforward. People haven't really thought out the importance of captions, and what I really want you guys to do is to jump on this and use it as a really, really powerful tool. So here is a pretty straightforward caption template that you guys can use over and over again. So the very first thing you want to do, the very first sentence above anything else, is do an eye-catching header or sentence that really grabs people's attention and gets them interested to read below that. Because what happens is you have about 180 characters, and then you get the little ... more button. And unless that first 180 characters really get somebody's attention, they're going to move on to the next post, and they're not going to read anything that's below that more thing. So it's really, really important to use an eye-catching header or sentence that really grabs people's attention. After that, your next 2 or 3 sentences should really be relatable, something that talks about your products or service, talks about your business, talks about whatever those categories are that we kind of went through. Something that's relatable though, that people are like, oh yeah, that's me too, or oh yeah, I totally know what that feels like. So something that people are gonna kind of feel or get or relate to. The last sentence, sentence 4 or 5, however long it is, should really be a call to action. So what is it you want people to do? If it's you want more likes on your picture, say, hey, if you like this, please make sure you hit the heart button or the like button. Hey, if you want to engage with people, say, hey guys, please leave a comment. What's your favorite color? Or, you know, who's your favorite superhero of the week? Whatever it is, call to action to have them comment below and start that conversation in the comments. Another example of call to action would be, hey guys, if you love this post, you really have to try my product or service because it'll do X, Y, Z for you. Here's the link you click to buy my product. So always making sure that there's a call to action on each post so that people know exactly what you want them to do. And try not to make it salesy. The more you make it conversational opposed to sales pitch, the better performance you're going to have and the more engagement you're likely to get. So once you have an idea of what your captions are going to look like, you know what your posting schedule is, what I really recommend is usually using a scheduling platform. And there's a ton of them out there. A couple of my favorites, the one I personally use is later.com. There's also Planoly. Hootsuite is a really good one. They tend to be a little bit expensive, but it's a really good platform, and you can engage quite a bit through Hootsuite as well. The other thing that you can do is if you're just using Facebook, you can actually pre-schedule your posts inside of Facebook as well. So really kind of test them out, do some of the free trials and see which one you prefer. The really amazing thing about that is that you can, with say later.com or Hootsuite, so I can select my 3 or 4 platforms and create one piece of content. So here's the photo, here's the copy, make sure everything looks good, here's the hashtags I want to use, something like that. And then it'll auto-populate onto all 4 or 5 or 3 platforms you have, and you can move them around on the calendar to different dates. So you create one piece of content, but it's shared at different times on different platforms. And the reason this is okay, and you want to make sure it's all at different times, is because not everybody is going to see the same post. So some people may be on Instagram at 2 p.m. on a Monday, and those same people are not likely to be on Facebook at 4 p.m. on a Friday. And so you can share that same content on those different platforms. So it allows you to create less content, yet still hit all of your platforms and make them active. So I really love those calendar features so that you can kind of auto-populate everything. Once you really kind of get this in a routine and start doing this, so for me, it takes me about 2 to 3 hours to create content for the entire month. So it's really not too bad. The rest of the time, all I do is go in and engage and talk to people and answer questions and share, other people's content and message. So it's usually, 30 minutes to an hour of engagement each day, opposed to scheduling, posting, checking, scheduling, posting, checking, engaging, and so on, every single day. It gets overwhelming. So by pre-scheduling everything, all you have to do is go in a couple times a day and just kind of check things and respond to things. So it's a really, really easy way to save a lot of time and take a lot of that stress away. And then it also helps you really start to build a continuative process. I'm not sure that's the word, but you guys know what I mean. So it really helps you guys kind of tell your story and keep on track and make sure that what you're posting really is relevant to your business, your brand, product, and service. So just make sure once you kind of get used to that, that you guys start refining. Look at what posts work, look at what posts aren't, and start, making your posts more like the ones that are performing higher. So I'll give you an example. On Instagram, pictures of myself perform far better than anything else. But on Facebook, pictures of myself don't tend to perform as well as pictures of my daughter or pictures of some beautiful piece of art or something like that. So each platform is going to have images that perform better and content that performs better. So once you really start looking at those analytics and break it down, you can really start to understand what kind of content your audience prefers, and you can post more of that content, so you'll start to bring in more of your ideal clients. The last thing, I forgot to actually say this earlier too, is when you are doing a call to action, another thing to consider is always asking people to share your content with other people, because that is how you're going to help grow your reach. So you'll see an example of that at the end of this video. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is just remind you guys that next week I will do a social media marketing tutorial as well. I'm going to be traveling, so wish me luck on figuring out how to do this while I'm out in the middle of Minnesota, but it should be fun. But we're going to talk about how to build your own social media community and how that can help grow your brand and your business and your reach in general. So we'll talk about that next week. So be sure to tune in on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, thank you for helping me get through this and dealing with my chaos. I'm learning as I go, and I'm sharing with you guys what I learn as I go. So just remember, I have posted a link to my free monthly social media posting and engagement calendar, so you can download that anytime you want and use it however you want. So you can either get it in a PDF, you can get it as an Excel file, or you can get it as a Google document that you can then download and edit for yourself and really make it your own. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I'm here for you. Please comment below if you have questions, or if you have other areas or topics you want me to cover. And like always, please help me grow. So if you guys can share my video, I'd be very, very grateful. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys soon.